What's up, guys? It is your girl Zeta Lisa, and today is a amazing show. We have the author of Kim Porter's book, Chris Todd, here with us today. Thank you.
Hey guys,
coming on the show.
Yeah, no worries.
Super excited to have you here. So Chris, just introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about you real quick.
Sure. Yeah, and I'm not the author of the book. Kim Porter is the author.
Okay. Yeah.
So let's just start with that, and then I did some stuff to the book a little bit, which I'll talk about. So some people could say I co-authored, but we'll get into that. But yeah, my name's Chris Todd. I'm an investigative producer, journalist, and author here in Los Angeles. I work famous and civilian cases. I solve murders. I work with DAs, lawyers. I work for families pro bono. I don't charge anybody anything I do. And I've put some people in jail before, and I have some other people under investigation right now. So sometimes I say I'm an informant, which I am, depending on the case. And right now I'm working 2 child murder cases with families and lawyers and lawsuits. So yeah, that's basically what I do. I wrote 5 books. I mean, I wrote different books, just kind of showing. I did something about OJ having an accomplice, OJ Simpson. I did the first Delphi book about the girls that were murdered in Indiana, Abby and Libby. I wrote the first ever book about Delphi. And I have some other books too. And I'm also doing Kurt Cobain, his murder case now. So I do a lot of different things, Black, white, Asian, Latino. There's no boundaries to what I do. So I'm honored to be here. And I saw you very early on. And what you got to know about me is I'm kind of the anti-Hollywood. So Woo! I like to talk to the little people and smaller outlets. And I liked what you were doing. I thought you had a pure heart and you were fun. And I was like, I would definitely talk to you. And it's about the fans. It's about Kim and the scandal and Diddy and so it really is kind of your story. It's really for you guys. And so if I can be that conduit and that messenger, that's what I'm here to do.
Wow. Chris, that was such like a beautiful introduction because I've watched so much interviews here with you on YouTube and I don't really think I understood the scope of are you like a private investigator as well? Like, have you ever dibbled and dabbled in that?
I'm not a PI. I'm an investigator. So I'm not a police officer. I'm not a lawyer. I always have to say that. What I do is I sometimes do undercover work and I deal directly with killers. So what I do is it's slightly dangerous and you have to kind of get to know me a little more to watch my Zodiac and Natalie Wood and OJ, Biggie Smalls. I did the Biggie Smalls case. And a lot of times the police don't always arrest the actual real killers. And that's why I'm also a storyteller. So it just depends on the situation, whether I hand in stuff to law enforcement or the lawyers or families, or I just tell the public. So if you really look at my stories, you'll see I do it kind of different, a little different on each one, but I am the voice of the voiceless and I kill killers. That's what my books talk about that's what I do.
So I love everything about that because here on Mama's Cocktail Hour, we like to say that we're truth tellers and we're seeking the truth.
Yeah.
So I don't believe in the word conspiracy anymore. I think with everything that has came out, we know that the whole conspiracy thing is just a way for us not to get to the truth, right?
Correct. Yep.
So that's why when I saw your interview, I was like, I felt the vibe. I felt an energy. Like I felt like, okay, this guy is telling the truth. That is my opinion, of course. We have other people who would debunk that, right? What would you say was the first thing when you came in contact with Kim Porter's flash drive that made you say, oh shit, this is real?
It really was a 9-month journey. It wasn't like in the very beginning, like I was shown 5 pages. 5.
Okay.
And they were mailed to me. They were sent to me like on a piece of paper. So I didn't know. Yeah, literally, like printed out, right?
Okay.
So when I first read it, and the funny thing was, someone came to me that through a friend. I didn't know this person at first,
Okay.
and I first read, I think it was the Tupac Jimmy Henchman thing, like the
Mhm.
Quad Studios, and I was like,
Yes.
oh, that kind of makes sense. Like I always thought Tupac was set up too. I never thought that was some random robbery. I was
Right.
like, no, 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 no. And Diddy was upstairs, and Biggie was there, and Jimmy Henchman, I think, was there, and there was another record executive. I'm like, no, dude, no. So right away, I was like, maybe there's something here.
Right.
Then there was some stuff about Bieber and Usher and Little Bow Wow, and I was like, oh, that sounds crazy. And
Right.
I didn't really know that Diddy was gay or
Mm.
bisexual. I
Okay.
really didn't. I didn't. Okay. I grew up with hip hop and gangster rap, and I was a big Snoop fan and Dr. Dre. Don't get me wrong. We grew up with that music. I'm Gen X. We thought we were black at times. We really did. Okay. So what I'm saying is, at first I didn't believe it. I was like, Kim's writing this? But over time, as I got closer to the sources and some other people, then they
Okay.
showed me the whole thing. And it took a long time,
To
months.
get to that step.
Yes, months.
Okay.
Okay.
So you had said, right, that you had to pass tests
Mhm,
in order to get more information.
mhm.
And I found that very interesting. Would you
Yeah,
be able to share any of the
sure.
tests
Yeah,
that you had to
yeah,
pass?
yeah, yeah. So I've been a whistleblower before. I whistleblew on the most famous murder case in history, O.J. Simpson. Nobody wanted to know the truth. Nobody wanted anything to do with me. I had to beat these people over the head to get information. I had to go undercover. I had to use aliases. I had to call from burner phones, use a woman's voice. Like I had to do things that were really crazy to get people to talk. So watch. Now watch how I segue this and lead it into Kim Porter's flash drives and memoir. Okay.
Okay.
So when they first come to me, the test is, do I rat them out right
Mm,
away? I already know their names. So they're already like, they're going to wait, right? So that's the first test. I didn't say their names. So slowly it was like, okay, then we do the midnight calls and we talk about Tupac and how they knew Tupac and how they knew Diddy and Kim. And just slowly you listen. You always listen first. Let
yep.
them tell the story, right? And so just over I say the first maybe like trimester we'll call it, or the first quarter, I passed the test of I didn't squeal. I didn't go running to anybody and say, this is who has it. I didn't do that.
Right.
Now, the real test that I think I really, really, really passed was when I started to tell my secrets about
Okay.
my cases. And I
Mm,
think that really impressed them because I was opening up and they were like, wait, OJ had an accomplice? I'm like, yeah, you want to see? And I showed them things I never showed anybody. And they're like, holy cow. Then I proved to them by leaking through Radar Online the first couple pages that I still
yes.
didn't, right.
I
And I,
remember that.
and I still didn't reveal anything. And after that, the tapes started to come. Tapes.
Plural, as in more than one.
Mm-hmm. And at that point, I'm like, whoa, whoa, whoa. I wanted to step back for a minute. Like, hold on. Are these people of age? Like, are these pop stars of age? And obviously, if they weren't of age, that would go to the authorities. There's no
Right.
selling of that. There's no solicitation. Absolutely not. Of age, that's different. That's a whistleblow. People can be blurred out. The public
Right.
has a right to know and a need to know. There's a public safety issue about
Right.
people getting drugged, women getting
Yep.
drugged. Yeah.
And we see that
So,
coming out now with all the lawsuits,
oh
right?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I like to mention how Kim Porter talks about sex parties in this book.
yeah.
And now we're starting to understand what sex parties look like, what the freak offs were. And there's so many similarities into what's going on now,
Yeah.
what is in the book.
But I'll say this, and this might be painful for the Porter family and for Diddy's children, you have to understand when you deal with accomplices or killers or aiding and abetting accessories, right? Kim was somewhat culpable. That's why she's not telling you everything in the book. That's why she's just hinting. Oh, I couldn't believe I saw the tapes and there was Usher, Bieber, and Little Bow Wow.
Yep.
Do you know what she's really seen? Like, she couldn't tell you about the real freak offs. She couldn't, because she's there.
Yep.
You see what I mean? So
right.
This is a courageous woman, but she's also an artist. She's a writer. You have to remember that. So, you know, Mark Lamont Hill and some of the other people, Art of Dialogue, they start arguing with me about like, oh, does it embellish it? That's up to Kim. That's her right.
Right.
Just like everybody in Hollywood. You think every movie you see is true? You think every book you read is 100% accurate? No. So that's her civil rights. That's her First Amendment. And she wrote this for years. She was writing this for years. Okay. And parts of this,
How many years would you say? How many years would you say? Because I think that was like one of the biggest things with the book. Where they were like, "Oh, the timelines don't make sense. It jumps from here to there." Gene Deal actually mentioned something that I feel like is completely false because he didn't read the book. He mentioned that he was debunking the book, stating that Kim Porter was married. She never said she was.
No one ever said she was married. Ever.
She never said she was married at all. She did mention Al B. Shore. He did mention
married. She was married to Al B. Shore, and that's what these people do. And I like Gene Deal. Gene Deal is instrumental in solving Biggie Smalls. But what I'm saying is, right? They come out and go, "Oh, this is BS." Kim never said she was married.
Never.
The book never said that, so that's wrong. First of all, you're wrong. Then they bring up, he goes, this is the best part. This is where a light bulb went off. He goes, yeah, when Kadada.
Oh, Kadada, right.
Yeah, he calls her Kadisha, right? Yep. I'm like, okay, first of all, slow down, dude. Like, do you even know what's going on in the book? He goes, that's not true. It was Wolf who grabbed the picture of P, not me. It's like, so you're saying it's real. Like,
right, exactly.
Exactly. So I was like, oh, shit, maybe that is real. Like, he just said it, that Kadada was there and Diddy pissed in her ginger ale.
Yep,
he just said it.
He said it actually way before. Like, if you go back to a lot of the videos he did, he has mentioned that story lots and lots of times.
Okay.
We also have Jaguar Wright.
Yeah.
She is saying that she feels herself that the book is real.
Right, but she thought it was spun from Diddy's camp. Like, she thought Diddy's people took the book, which is kind of a brilliant idea. Like, if Diddy's team got a hold of Kim's flash drives, laptop, and phone, right? And the cloud, that's why the book she talks about, I got the password to the cloud.
Right.
Okay, I believe there were two people given this book.
Okay.
The one person's afraid. The other person had no fear. And that's why it came, yes. Kim told many people she was writing a book, even told Al B. Shore. That's why Al B. Shore said, I believe Kim was writing a book, but this ain't it because of this white guy. See, what everybody, and look, sometimes, you know, obviously somebody in the Black community, they could have done it, right? They could have done it, but they didn't. Did they need a front man, a scapegoat, a pawn? Sure. And if that's what I have to be for a whistleblower, it's okay. I'm used to it. That's what, see, I'm like the only person that can do it. I really am. If you really look in my past, I was kind of built for this. So, but now look, here's the other thing. If this book is so BS, then why don't all these celebrities come out and tell us that it's BS?
I agree with that. So quickly, what do you have to say about all the books? Because we know the book has been taken down. Yeah. And we're going to get into that a little bit later because I feel like I got so many questions to ask you before that. But what do you think about all the books that are now posting on Amazon? Because I must have saw like 5 or 6 that are like Kim Porter this, written by this person.
Yep.
What do you think that's about?
Those are AI.
Ooh.
Those or there's some type of writer who's using AI and is just steal. There's one book on there literally that is the same font, same color, same thing where it has the same line like this and the same formatting of the whole book, and it's up there making money. And why can't we sell our book?
Right.
Like this, and this is where Amazon's got to be careful.
Okay.
You have a Black woman who was abused, who wrote a book, and I had to do certain things to it too. So let's say it's our book together.
Okay.
We have First Amendment rights and civil rights to tell our story. Why are you letting all the other books go on and make money? Why is ours down? So I've been saving all of those screenshots. I have them all. So if there's litigation, that will be shown. Like, oh, but people can rip this off and go sell it, but we can't, and you froze our money.
Right.
What's up? Like,
it almost makes sense that your book is real. You know, like that almost proves the point right there to me, right? To me, that all these fake books, because I'm not gonna lie, I was definitely thinking that these fake books were a ploy by Diddy and his camp.
No.
So you
these are AI. And there's other people that do this on Delphi too. What they do is, and this is what they'll do. If you wrote a book and it was very successful, right?
Okay.
It's based on somebody famous, like public domain, fair use, whatever you want to call it, right? You just go write a book too, but you don't steal the literal pages out. You just write a book, put a title, and stick it up. And if you make a couple grand, cool. Why not? You made it at home. It took you 5 minutes. Like, so people, they have the right to do that. There's nothing wrong with that. But in this case, it does look very fishy that they're showing, oh, they made us take Kim's picture down. Why aren't they making them take it down?
Right.
So
Because every book has Kim's photo on the Amazon. Guys, you guys can Google it. Go on Amazon, type in Kim Porter. You will see 5 or 6 different versions of it.
Look, I'll say this. We have no issue with Amazon right now.
Okay.
At the end of next month is the final audit. We have taken the book down. We already told them we're not putting it back up. We've moved on, right? We've actually removed Albie Shore's chapter from the master. It's gone.
Really?
So even if I wanted to put it out again, that's up to me. That's down the road. He's not even in it anymore. His whole chapter is removed. Okay. So we have no issue with Amazon. Obviously, if they say you're not getting paid any money, I will take legal action. Like I'm not, no one's stealing my money. They're not doing that. People bought the book. People love the book. People are inspired by the book.
Right.
And the other thing too for Amazon is, did you read the book? Albie Shore's in 4 sentences.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
And it's X'd out what it even hints at. It's hinting at something. It's a story. Relax. You see what I mean?
I understand.
So anyway,
Yeah. So, all right. Let's get back to the people surrounding the book. Can you tell us how many people there are, or you can't?
What do you mean? In the book or part of it?
No, like the people who actually provided you with the information. 2
people.
Okay. And
there's other like people that I brought in, but I'm saying the actual flash drives and the memoir, 2 people.
And going back to what you said one person is absolutely afraid and the other is not.
That's 3. There's 3 people. Now take away the scared person.
Okay.
And there's 2.
So why haven't the people who are not afraid, being that Diddy's locked up now, why not come out with it? Why not say who they are?
Maybe someday they will. That's up to them. I can't control that.
Understood.
I can't ever reveal them. If they wanted to come forward, I first of all wouldn't advise them to come forward. because right now I'm kind of the figure of it. You should just let it ride with me. If they really wanted to, they're going to open up a can of worms that could harm them, like their careers and stuff.
Okay. So we're seeing careers. So these people are famous, are celebrities?
One is, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Let's
And
just say this. Let's just say this. They both work in the movies, TV, and music industry. Both of them.
so they've all done all three. Like, okay. And so I'm just going to ask some questions. We have so many people in the chat. Thank you guys for coming on. We
Where are
appreciate
the pictures he spoke of? Well, I'll show you a picture real quick. Now, remember, a little exclusive for you guys, because everybody's afraid to show this picture. The Daily Mail showed the picture, and I gave it to him on a one-time use only. This was from the flash drive of Kim after she was beaten by Diddy. This is her in the Toluca Lake house. You've probably seen this.
Yes, I've.
But I'm going to show it to you like kind of directly from out of my phone.
Okay.
So that's in her bathroom at the Toluca Lake house. Okay, you see the blood on her nose, the abrasion?
Yes, I do.
She's trying to cover up her black eye with makeup too. On her left eye. See the shade is different?
Yep. And I can see the one eye is looking a little low.
Yeah.
So this is some information that came in the actual flash drive.
Mm-hmm.
How many more photos are there?
There's some more, but that was the only one they would let me use.
Okay.
I'll look real quick. I've been getting more now.
Really?
Yeah, like I'll show you one real quick. I thought this was an interesting picture. I don't know. Sometimes people are cryptic, even like sources, whistleblowers. Sometimes they play a game with you, like a cat and mouse.
Okay.
I think this is a photo shoot for an ad. I've never seen it, and your people can find it somewhere. This is Kim Kardashian and Diddy in the bed. You see Kim?
That's Kim before all of the work done. Who's the other girl to the?
I don't know who that is. I think it's a Skims shoot. See how they're wearing the same bra?
Yeah, I definitely see that.
I think it's a shoot. I don't know. Like, they won't tell me too much about it. I think it's just something. There's other flash drives that other people are now bringing forward that they have. And I don't know if that's just some photo. I can't find it online. So maybe your people could find it and go, oh, yeah, that's from a Skims shoot. You know, Diddy's in the bed with two women, but still, it's pretty creepy. Like,
and it's definitely white. Like, everything is
could
white.
Be a white party.
It could be one of his infamous white parties at the Hamptons. It does look like that. So that was in the bunch as well. Were there any?
Well, this is new stuff coming in. Now I can show one quick thing. I don't know if I could show this.
Okay.
This is Diddy right here, but he's blacked out, and he's with somebody in a compromising position.
So I can see that the face is blacked out, and I do see the body.
There's somebody else. There's somebody else with him there.
Really? In a compromising position?
In a compromising position, yeah.
And that's how we've been catching Diddy a lot lately in compromising. Chris, are you scared? Question. One of the Elise. Hey, Elise. She has a question. Are you scared of what can happen? Or at this point, you've dealt with so much shit that you're like, no.
You never can really sit back and rest. So you're always looking over your shoulder. When I start my car, I look under the car. Like there's a lot of I did a lot of mafia stories, and really? I've had a couple scares. Yeah, I've had a couple, but look, I have people that help me too. I'm not like just by myself. I have PIs, I have cops, I have ex-DEA guys, FBI, If I make the right phone call, if somebody calls me up, we'll trace their call. And if they make a death threat, they go to jail. And if somebody comes to my house, you better be careful. There's cameras and there's people and there's weapons and security guard. Like it's not like someone's just going to roll up on me.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean,
like they would be in danger first. Like they would have to be extremely careful. So, and that's over my 10 years of doing this.
Right.
So yeah, I'm prepared. But yeah, sometimes one night, I didn't sleep one night because Diddy sent me a cease and desist to my house from jail.
And this is recent?
Mm-hmm. I'll show you a picture of it. I haven't shown anybody. The media is too cowardly to show it. So he mailed me. So he obviously has my address. And it's in a FedEx envelope. I'm going to block out my name.
Okay, absolutely.
Well, I guess you can kind of see it. I'm just going to show you this. It came FedEx like this. Okay.
Okay.
This is the FedEx. I black out the barcode.
Okay.
This is a certified mail kind of letter. But if I pull down, you'll see my real name real quick, but it's fine.
Okay.
So that's right there. That's a cease and desist from Diddy. Now I'll tell you what he's doing. I'll give you a little exclusive here. He's coming after the drives. He wants the flash drives.
And so
now watch. Wait, hold on. Now wait, it gets better. Because Diddy knows she took them from him. And so when Diddy said, "What? Buckle up right now. You ready? Buckle up."
I don't think I'm ready.
Get ready. So you know how Diddy and his lawyers came out and go, "This book is fabrication. You have no respect for Miss Porter." Diddy knows it's real. That's why he's saying you need to give us the flash drives. Because he knows she took them.
So that also kind of validates your story, because how would he have known, right?
And I'll tell you a secret. Too. I heard through a source of a source close to one of the lawyers. Diddy has like 5 lawyers.
Right.
One of the lawyers coughed up something to somebody, and I won't say who and whatever, that when Diddy was like asking for the drives, he knew exactly the amount there were. And they were like, how does he, wait, how many did he say? He knew exactly the number.
How many drives are there? Are there 3 or 2?
More.
You said that there might be many. So do you think she made copies of these drives?
They only let me see pieces of 3 drives.
Okay.
Right now they're saying there's 7. 7 thumb drives, not like hard drives.
Right.
I call them flash drives. Some people call them thumb drives. I'm not saying I'm in possession of them either. I have to be careful what I say. So I'm not saying like I'm in possession of them. I'm saying I have access to them.
And so when you say access to them, that means that, okay, so you use some of that information for the book, like, or was the book already made, like you said, and you put it together and that's separate?
It was basically already done. It was finished. Okay. What I did was there were 2 pages. I have them in my phone and they're in my computer. There's 2 pages that somebody else wrote.
Okay.
What that means is I don't know which source. One of the sources wanted to give a kind of like an epilogue and a prologue, right?
Okay.
Kind of like an intro and an outro, right?
Okay.
I removed those so that we only hear Kim's voice. Because look, remember, Kim died 6 years ago. There's time for them to like, what if they interjected something? I don't know. Like when you are whistleblowing, you got to be really careful about the sources. You can't fully trust them. So they may have put something in themselves. What if they wanted to go after Diddy for something that they knew about that
Okay,
Kim
good point.
didn't put, right?
Good point. So they could have altered it and you don't know.
I'll say this. Basically in the original, like that thing would be worth a lot of money, right? If I put the original, like it's like an artifact, it's like a piece of memorabilia.
Right.
Okay. If I put those back in and I handed that to somebody and said, this is really how it came, just like this, that person is telling you a story about why Kim did this and why they are helping her. Okay. Because remember, she's already dead and they think she got murdered. They think she got unalived.
Right. So question, why not put that out to help prove that it is real? And
I will eventually. Right now, there's too much of a tornado that people need to just stay in the tornado for a little bit. It's not ready yet. It's too early.
So what do you mean by it's too early? What is
you can't show your cards right away. You're holding, full house or quads or a royal flush. You don't tip your hand right away. You need to let everybody push their chips in first.
Okay.
So, and look, it's a little bit of chess. And if I release, let's say I have access to one of the tapes.
Right.
And I release part of the tape. The whole world's going to go insane.
Have you seen the tape, Chris? Have you seen the tape?
Hypothetically, yeah.
Okay, so you've seen because I know there's lawyers now, everybody's getting tapes, right? There's all these tapes going around the industry. We don't know if Diddy sold these tapes because there was talks of him selling it in the black market and doing something strange for his stuff. And
there is a mole in the Diddy camp. I think I know who it is. That person was trying to sell the Bieber tape.
What?
I think I know who it is. I cannot fully confirm it.
Okay.
It's a rapper.
Okay, well, we got a couple. we got Frenchie Montana, we got Meek Mills.
Well, yeah, I don't know if it's Meek Mill. I do know that French Montana's on one of the tapes.
One of the tapes that you have seen, or
hypothetically, let's just say I know that French Montana has a sex tape with Diddy. They were together, right? They're not hiding that. Yeah.
Oh no. But what is weird, right? Is not weird. Let's just put this in perspective. Frenchie Montana is Moroccan, right? And he's from he raps like Casablanca. And I just there's all these TikToks rolling around about Diddy wishing him happy birthday and them always being really tight. So I think people now understand that Frenchie Montana and he spent a lot of time with Diddy.
They're on the yacht together, hugging each other on the yacht. Yeah, no.
They were spooning on the yacht for sure. There's no two men that should ever be that close unless you guys are really getting it in. It was.
Well, the thing is with French Montana, legally to bring it forward, you'd have to blur his face out because he has his own privacy rights, right? He's kind of like a copyright holder to the video, right?
Okay.
So if I or whoever brought it forward, you kind of blur his face out,
okay,
right? And you show Diddy because it's a whistleblow. We show the criminal,
right.
Okay, and whether French knew he was being filmed, I don't know. Probably. So you have to respect the people, even Bieber, right? Let's say the Bieber tape. You got to be careful. You can't just show Justin Bieber. You need to, just do it the right way, and you can just show Diddy. And if Diddy wants to sue somebody, go ahead. Because then he will be subpoenaed and deposed and all his stuff will be given to lawyers.
And there'll be a discovery phase. And
yeah. That's why when they sent me the cease and desist, right?
Okay.
They're trying to talk a big game, but they know if I turn on them and go, come on and sue me, go ahead. Your client's getting subpoenaed and deposed. And I'll get all his phones and his computers and his emails. Yeah. What's up now? And I'll get his tapes. We'll get everything. That's why people got to be careful when they sue each other. You could say, I'm going to sue this person. That's usually when a lawyer goes, you do know that once you sue them, it's like them suing you, because now they're going to have all the access to everything you have. Everything. There's a Brady rule. You can't hide evidence if it's exculpatory. It's called the Brady rule. Yeah.
Good point. Good point. So one might argue, right? Why is the book taken down then?
I think in corporate America,
okay,
when the squeaky wheel comes and starts to squeak, they don't want to get sued. And with defamation by implication, whatever. Look, if Albie Shore's lawyers want to go, we're going to sue you for $100 million. Like, first of all, Albie Shore's not worth $100 million. First of all. Second of all, it depends what state you're in. Okay. I'm in California. Yeah. We have liberal laws for First Amendment. This is Hollywood. Okay. So you're going to come say, you see what I mean? Now, if he's the victim and he lives in New York and he tries to say, I don't even know what jurisdiction it'd be in. The book is published out of Las Vegas.
Okay, I've seen that.
Physical, that's the physical plant, but it's Amazon's publishing deal that we did with them. Just like everybody else. You split revenue. We made Amazon $500,000. Okay? In 1 month. Yeah.
Wow.
So obviously they could take some of that money, or they might peel some of our money and say, look, we need Albie Shore to go away. But to be real honest, that's not how it's going to work. You're not going to steal from Peter to pay Paul.
Right.
That's not that. I will go to court. That is not going to happen. So you can't do that. You cannot steal people's money. Like, they sold a product. There is no fraud. Did you read the book? Did you read before you took it down? Did you actually read it? I sent the page to them. I said, look, here's the page. It's like this long of a paragraph. Relax.
Yeah.
Relax. People make horror movies. Do you go suing everybody when they stab somebody in a movie and show that? Like, there's protections. Kim can tell her story. And what if that's really what she saw?
Good point.
What if Al?
I mean, Al, let's be real, Chris. Al is not going to say that he was found in a compromising position with Diddy. Like, there was no, when everything happened.
What if he doesn't remember? What if he doesn't remember? He's drunk. What if?
Or allegedly drugged. We don't know.
Or drugged. Or what if Kim just wanted to just mix it up? Now, Albie Shore does have the right through defamation by implication.
Right.
We've already said we'll say sorry. We already took it down. We've not put it back up. I could have put it somewhere else. I could have put it on my own website. I could have sold it myself. I didn't do that out of respect for Al. It probably was something I probably should have taken the whole chapter out. That's why I X'd out what was in it. I tried to help them. Like I did. I X'd it out. They didn't want me to. They wanted me to let it fly.
Yep.
Same with the other person. When I X'd out the other person, they're like, no, keep that person in there. I'm like, no.
So question, right? I think that's one of the questions that I feel like we had here as well. Why did you black some people's names out and others not? What was what made you do that?
I blacked out the Albie Shore thing because I felt it was too crazy. It was disrespectful. It was borderline foul and disgusting. So I made the decision to remove that part. I felt that if she obviously was telling this story for some reason, then I left in the chapter itself, right? But I removed what I thought needed to be removed. So I did. Okay. Now, the other person that I X'd out, I made that decision that person's name would never be in the book. I also removed the pictures of that person from the book. And I removed all the photos. There were photos. And I removed all the photos out of the book.
Any particular reason why?
I wanted people just to hear Kim talk. I don't want to see Diddy's face. I don't want anybody to see him. Just let her tell you the story.
Okay. So I think the $1 million question here is
look, in this. Oh, yeah, that one doesn't have. I actually have. Hold on. I actually have I can't show too much of this, but
Mhm.
this is actually the real first original.
What?
I'm not going to show you the cover. I'm going to bend the cover back. This is the actual Kim Porter book.
Wait. So
But I'll
that's what
show you guys a little just for your fans alone.
Yes,
And
please.
some of these photos are online, and I don't know if they leaked them years ago. They might have. Like, there are different people that had access to this.
Okay.
But like I don't even know who this is. I don't think this is Justin. I don't think this is Shine. I don't know. I don't even know who that is. Like,
oh, that's definitely Justin, and that picture
is that Justin?
That is Justin. That's his son with
Misa?
Misa Hilton. That
Yeah.
photo had been leaked. It's been all over the internet, and it was always odd because it almost looked like they were like in a Turkish bath.
Well, no. They're just in a gymnasium. They're working out. You see the gym in the back? Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, but like I said, I don't know if they're the ones who leaked those or not. They might have. Like, I don't know. Like there's one like with Andre Harrell. I think this is online too, but these were put in the book.
Wow.
Some of them, well, I'm telling you this right now because I saw them do this before, where they'd be like, now this photo I've never seen. This is Biggie. Biggie, Snoop, and okay. If anybody could find this photo somewhere, I challenge you to find this picture.
Okay.
Hold on. All right.
Who's that? Snoop Dogg.
That's Snoop, Puffy, and Biggie.
And that was in the book that you received.
This was in the original book. Now that page right there is when they talk about this one was, that's the Tupac hit at the Quad Studios. Pac, don't leave that effing studio alive. I don't think I was supposed to hear it, Kim says. I continued as if I didn't. Hey, Sean, good morning, Jimmy. They didn't seem to think I heard anything. I'm ordering breakfast. Smiling, Sean replied first. Let me get eggs, sunny side up with grits and an orange juice.
Right.
I could see he was hungover. Good. I don't want him knowing I know anything. If he just put a hit on Pac, knowing something could be dangerous. Jimmy, apparently not hungry, nothing for me. As he stood to exit the room, he said to Sean, let's make that happen. Then nodded to me and said, Kim, always a pleasure. With a wink to me and a nod to Sean, he turned and walked out. Jimmy was part of our intimate circle. I went on as if nothing had happened. I'll make the call now. I smiled as I left, hoping I wasn't white as a sheet. So, like I said, I had to tweak. And like you said, too, you've seen some of the photos. And look, and I've had issues with the sources, too. I've said that. I go, you're showing me pictures that are already out there. I don't want to see them. Show me something I haven't seen. Well, these pictures mean this and this. These are symbolic of like showing Snoop with Diddy, like before the West Coast, like how close he was. Okay, cool. But we're telling the story about an abused woman who may have been murdered.
Right.
And poisoned. So I don't care about seeing the rappers and like, just that's why I did that.
So, question. There is, and I know this gets a little tricky, and like I said, I wouldn't be myself if I wouldn't ask these questions, but there was an undertone in the entire book that I kind of almost knew how it was ending. It was an undertone of like child P, right? And I thought it was very interesting that throughout the book, there are little spurts of Quincy.
Yeah.
And it was like, he's so great. He's always treated Quincy so good.
Mm-hmm.
I've never had a problem with him with Quincy. And then as the story develops, she finds the videos.
Mm-hmm.
And this is towards the end of the book where we start to find out that it wasn't the sex parties, it wasn't any of that. What she really found that she felt was like, okay, this is the end.
Is Diddy with young men.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And so the most like, as a mom, the thing that really hit me at the end is when she said, oh shit, Quincy.
And I don't think Kim is saying, I know they tried to bring this up, one of my interviews, the grooming, you know, she's not saying like Diddy did anything with Quincy. She's not saying that.
Okay.
What she's saying is like, is he grooming him to be like him?
Okay.
You see what I mean? It's like it's just in general, it's bad to be.
And we can say that. We can say that
Yeah,
because we've seen the King Combs lawsuit that has come out,
yes.
right? We know that now they are allegedly bringing Justin and King Combs into a lot of lawsuits, saying that they themselves were doing their own freak off parties.
They're in the videos with Diddy. They're there. They're filming. Those two got to be really careful. They got to be really careful. Now, one of my favorite parts of the book, because I'm a Christian, and so watch the connection, is when she says, I don't want the devil to take over this child.
Yes.
And I'm going to name him something extremely Christian and biblical. So she names him Christian.
Yep. It was deep.
And because Sean's into voodoo and you know, the Epstein stuff, they have satanic stuff with that, and they're the Illuminati and all this crap. And it's okay to talk about it. We got to talk about it. People are trying to silence everybody on YouTube from saying the words like, you know, on the news, they say the R word all the time. But when you guys say it, oh my God. Like, demonetized. Like, what's up? Like, I don't know why we're having these different rules for the people in the public domain on YouTube. I get it. There's a lot of them. So maybe you don't want like all of them to be saying the R word I get it. But you're letting the news say it. They're they're talking to everybody across the world.
Yep. So and they're saying words like SA that we need to like abbreviate here.
Yes. You can't say the M word, the R word. You have to say unalived. You can't say S assault. You have to say it like that. I mean, it's like, look, I don't know what they're trying to do to the First Amendment. I don't get it. Like, if you don't want to listen to what someone has to say, then don't listen.
Right.
If you don't want to buy Kim's book, then don't buy it.
Right.
You don't want to watch a horror movie that they shove down our throats when your kids or my kids are watching ESPN and they see a horror movie, a chick with an axe with a pentagram behind her. Why do we have to see that?
Good point.
like just, you know, or a World War II movie and you see a swastika.
Good point.
All the time. Well, I don't want to see, I'm offended by seeing that. But do they stop putting it on TV? Do they stop selling movies about? So, yeah, man, it's like, and I think that people kind of like, I won't say her name. I'm not going to say this woman's name, but they point out the hypocrisy of the media and Hollywood. And they can do this, but you can't do any, they can say it, but you can't. Like, and it's like, we got to stop. And look, we're not mad at Amazon for taking the book down.
Okay.
To us, it's the most controversial book in the country.
It absolutely is.
It is. It is the most controversial book out there. Eventually, it will get its due, and it will get to sing again. Not anytime soon, minus the chapter with Al. That's gone. Okay. Someday. Look, they've asked me to write a book where I talk about my journey on this, and I stick her book in the middle or at the end. So that's possibly the next book, to hide her book inside like that, but minus the people, like I said. So in this country, we don't silence people. If they want to tell a story, I don't care what they say. I really don't. And if Will Smith and Jada and Jamie Foxx, they feel like they were defamed, then sue the Porter estate. Go ahead. See how that works out for you.
Right. Right. I agree.
Guys, because Jamie and Will and Jada, you were there. You were there. We know you were there. We know you were. And you know you were there. And Jamie, you got poisoned. And you know you did. But you won't say it.
That is some deep.
So did Al. And Al knows he got poisoned too.
And I thought we were waiting on Al's documentary where he was going to say the real reason why.
Oh, and Jamie Foxx
needs to get involved.
You know, and Jamie Foxx did a whole special, right? Just like 2 days ago.
Yes.
What did he say? He didn't say anything. He just said, "Oh, I'm so grateful to be." No, but Jamie, what happened to you? Why won't you say it? There's a deafening silence right now in Hollywood. There is a silence that they will not come forward. They will not say anything. Bieber won't, Kadada won't, Will won't, Jada, Snoop, Jamie Foxx, Bow Wow. Well, Bow Wow's talking now, saying he wishes the parties were back.
What is that about? Oh,
look, you know, everybody knows this. Scooter Braun took a 15-year-old Justin Bieber and handed him to Usher and Diddy. Okay. And everyone knows that. I'm not saying something everyone knows that. And I'm not saying I don't know what happened to Justin at 15 years old. I've never said I've seen anything. I never said anything existed with that. I've heard rumors, maybe. But to me, I'd be like, would Diddy be that dumb to film that? Like, who would do that? Like, how dumb would you be? So
what do you think? Before we get lost, I want to bring up one last thing, right?
Sure.
What about the sexual energy that she talks about in the book? Because I think that that's playing out right now. You know, there has been talks on TikTok, and I know this might be deep down stuff, or this might be right up your alley, who knows, about tunnels and
I heard about these tunnels.
And tunnels and like, what do you think about that information? Like, what do you think about them allegedly saying that they're trafficking children? These freak off parties where there was children involved, because Kim Porter's book does talk about when she got pregnant with Christian, how he was super elated. He was so excited. She was scared. Remember, she was scared. She was like, oh my God, I'm going to tell him. And oh my God, it's going to be something. And then he was like, he calls Will Smith up allegedly, right? And he says, oh my God, she's pregnant and blah, blah, blah. He's like, oh, we have to have a freak off or whatever it was, right? Whatever.
I worked another case that deals with children.
Okay.
All right. A guy got murdered, got killed over it. And I know the story very well. I've been working on it for 5 years. I don't mess with the government. I'm not stupid. I don't blast people. I don't say political stuff. I don't comment on the Middle East. If you really look at me, I say a lot of crazy stuff. I know when to draw the line. Okay. There has existed a pedophile network for many years in this country. It does. It is real.
Right.
Okay. I'm not going to name people. I'm not going to say their names. Am I saying that Diddy was engaged in it? I don't really know. Okay. Based on what Tony Busby has brought forward, you would say yes, right? You would say right away on the surface, something's bad. Okay.
Right.
He says there's 20 minors.
Right.
So, but as a systemic thing, for me, Diddy would have to be the dumbest person in the world to actually film that. So I don't know if he's possessed by Satan. I don't know if he sold his soul to the devil. Kim talks about the voodoo. He's got the giant voodoo thing on his back. That's not the Mother Mary. That is not. That is more of a voodoo-like symbology. Okay. So what I'm getting at is I hope it's not true. Okay. The trafficking of over 18-year-olds and of those people, that obviously is happening. Absolutely. I don't know if there's tunnels. I mean, I'm not going to, I don't know anything about that, but obviously there's a lot of tapes. Hold on, I'm trying to get my thing.
No worries.
There's obviously a lot of, hold on one second.
No worries.
Sorry.
You do your thing. I'm just going to take some of these comments that we're getting here. Everyone seems
sorry, I'm getting like,
no problem. Do your thing. Beautiful and
house full of high schoolers like trying to
come. No worries. I'm there. Beautiful and blessed. Hold on, Chris. She said, love your work, Chris Todd. I've watched your OJ stuff and other investigations. Can you discuss your next possible story? What you're taking on, allegedly?
I'm doing Kurt Cobain. I believe Kurt Cobain from Nirvana was murdered. And you can Google Chris Todd, Kurt Cobain. I have a few videos up, and I'm going to write a book eventually talking about Kurt's murder.
Wow.
Yeah. They come to me. A lot of these things come to me. I have 2 civilian cases too. I don't talk too much about a young girl that I will bring forward more in the future. But, it's sad. The media tries to censor me all the time.
Right.
The police, a lot of times the police will not act on people. I said who killed Ron and Nicole with O.J. Simpson. They've done nothing. The guy's on tape saying it.
What?
Like, it's really, someday we could do another one with, I wrote the book. It was called If We Did It.
Yes. So let me get that, do some research, and then we can get back.
It's called Ron's Revenge. You guys can buy it on Amazon now. Ron's Revenge by Chris Todd. That is the same book with Ron Goldman on the cover. And that's the greatest story I've ever done. I was at the pinnacle. And Kim's and Diddy thing is big too. It's probably more relevant than OJ is because it's more now and it has more of a fan base than OJ did.
Right.
But when I did OJ, I kind of was at the pinnacle and then I came down. So everything below, nothing can ever surpass OJ.
Yeah.
They just can't. But why didn't you expose how you got the information in the book? I can't reveal the sources. We just don't reveal sources that are scared or don't want to be revealed. I think in the future, someday they will come forward.
So everyone talks about Sloan. I'm a big follower of Sloan. I love all Sloan Bella stuff. And
she did OJ too. She did OJ.
You did OJ? I gotta watch it.
She talked about Ron Goldman and she mentioned me. She didn't know she was mentioning me. She goes, somebody's going to come forward. It's not over. That's hello.
I'm here.
And then when people said that Sloan Bella had said a white guy's going to get Kim Porter.
Oh my God. So I watched that 3-part series. And when she said that a white guy was going to come forward, he had all the stuff and that we were going to know what happened to Kim. Here you are.
And I'm not saying I'm the only white guy in the world that would do it. Like, come on. If a lot of people would take the opportunity to do it, if they thought they were going to make a bunch of money, right? A lot of white people would have done it. But there's a danger element. The sources were cryptic in the beginning. You had to pay them sometimes, like there was asks of money. Are you going to get this much money? How much are we going to look? And I don't blame people for wanting money. If you're going to come forward on something, you're just going to risk your life for free. Like people got it. These journalists, like these people in the media, they're such frauds. Like we don't pay for stories. Yeah, you do. All your cameramen get paid. Yep. You get paid. They don't pay David Muir at ABC. He doesn't get paid. Like it's just it's a hustle. Hollywood is a hustle. All their stuff is fake. Their deals are fake. They're fake. They have fake names. It's just so look, eventually I think we've started the tornado or a brush fire. It's going to get better. I'm going to release more. And supposedly I'm supposed to get the jackpot soon.
What's the jackpot? We don't know.
The jackpot would be like the freak offs in full effect.
Like videos of freak offs in full effect?
with your favorite celebrities right there.
And that's what's next. So now the book is down, right? We already said what we thought about you possibly creating your journey, and that
Right.
might be the next book that we may see that comes out from you.
Right.
You also made mention of a documentary.
I tried to sell a documentary. I did. I brought the book, and they know who they are. There's a couple network executives that met me. Before I published, I gave them an opportunity to do it, and they wouldn't do it.
Really?
And these are very big studios, yeah. Now they did, Tubi did, Harvey Weinstein did 2 versions. That's great, cool. That's nothing. He has nothing I have. Nothing. He doesn't have any tapes. He doesn't have any real pictures. He doesn't have Kim's voice. It's a clip show. They're called magazine shows. He's just he's telling us something we already know.
Yep, absolutely. We know that.
Discovery ID has one coming out too. So does Netflix. And 50 Cent called me a fool. He could say it to my face.
Why? Why did he call you a fool?
Because he saw me on the Art of Dialogue and he wanted to say, like, he's jealous that we had all the media. Like, no one's even talking about his Netflix special. They were talking about our book nonstop. And he's got to poke his head into everything and then say, well, they came to me too. So they came to me and they wanted the book too. So he needs to just chill out. Don't make any comments about me.
So it looks like they were shopping the book around a lot too, because I also heard Vlad TV talk about that someone came to him with the book.
You know what's funny is I'm glad you brought that up. So somebody goes to Vlad. This is how dumb he is. Because I can't stand the guy. That guy is the worst. No, seriously. And you can make a TikTok out of it. Vlad, you're an idiot. And you block the O.J. Simpson story. You're a fraud. And you bash Jaguar right. And they put you in your place real quick. You're a culture vulture, dude. And I know I'm white too. I get it. But I solve murders. You don't. You troll murders. You put on Kato Kalin and told a fake story when we told you OJ had an accomplice, and you wrote back to us, I'm ignoring this. That's not a journalist, dude. You're not a journalist. You're a fraud. So anyway, so somebody goes to Vlad. Watch. This is great. You'll love this. Because I know you're talking. You can't make this up. So somebody goes to Vlad and says, Kim Porter wrote a book. Right? That's what he said, right? And he said it was a cop.
He did say that. Yes.
And it was.
What?
Now watch. It's an ex-cop. Now watch. This is the best part. So the ex-cop goes and says, hey, Vlad, you want the book? So they offer it to him first. Now, maybe he wouldn't want it anyway, right? Like maybe it's a blessing in disguise. He didn't get it, right?
Yep.
Because he would have been sued. Yeah. So maybe Vlad, he's obviously a smart guy. He's not a complete idiot, but I'm saying he's built a brand. He's kind of known. Now he's poking his face out. You notice that? He never would show his face before. And now he comes out, he looks like a monster. He looks like a monster. Like, yeah. He is a monster. He is a monster. That's why he hides himself.
Oof.
Okay. So anyway, but here's the thing. I already had the book. So when the people smell dollar signs. And there was a group of people in the crime community that knew about the book but didn't have it.
Okay.
So when I was first approached by someone here, the people that went to Vlad, they knew each other. So it was like it's coming down the train tracks, like 2 trains, like coming down like this. One's going to Vlad, one's going to me, but I'm a little more in pole position than he is, right? Because he thinks it's fake and he's got a giant ego. Yeah.
He wasn't touching that at all. He didn't want any smoke or any of that.
He's not real. He's not a real journalist.
I agree because, don't you want to hear the truth? But, there's a lot of politics.
Yeah, he's done. There is, and he's done good stuff. Look, he helped put Keefe D in jail.
Oh, that's facts.
Because he let Keefe D confess that he's at a murder scene on tape. Oh yeah, that's going to be used in court
for sure.
You can't say that stuff. That can be used against you in a court. So
and he did tell Keefe D. To be fair, he definitely told Keefe D. like, this can incriminate you, and he was like, I got a proffer.
Yeah. yeah, he had a proffer. The only problem was that was a federal proffer. It had nothing to do with Nevada.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
where he got messed up.
And Greg Kading, I know Greg.
Really?
Personally, oh yeah, I know Greg Kading. Greg is the one who recorded Keefe D and took the evidence out of LAPD and took it home with him. So that's why Keefe's mad at Greg. He always says, "Oh, this guy with the boxes calls it the boxes." And Keefe D is right in a way, but the proffer, there's some legality issues there because really what Keefe D said shouldn't have been made public.
Agreed.
That was the property of the U.S. attorney and the LAPD. I don't know how they got away with bringing it I don't know. Like Murder Rap and Mike Dorsey, they just blasted it out there. So look, do
you believe Diddy's behind all of that?
Okay. Basically, because I did a lot of research on Biggie Smalls, I don't think Poochie killed Biggie. I think they covered that up. I think Biggie was killed by the rogue LAPD Rampart cops that worked for Suge Knight. And I'm not going to name them, but I say it in my video on Cinemills TV. You can go to that, and I talk about Biggie's murder. What I believe, this is truly, do you want me to say my Tupac theory?
Yes, I do. I want to hear it.
Okay. I truly believe that Orlando Anderson, Baby Lane, killed Tupac Shakur. And Keefe was there with Dre and T. Brown, whoever the four people in the car. I do believe that is a story. I've heard new things, that there was somebody else there. I don't know. Things are changing quickly. I believe Diddy did say at one time, can you guys help me? Right? Because Diddy thought he would be killed by Suge Knight.
Okay.
I truly believe he did. Absolutely. I would fear Suge Knight too. Dude, those guys, they had cops working for them. These cops committed bank robberies. These cops killed people. Proof within evidence. They murdered people. Okay. At Rampart. Yeah. A lot of them were from Compton. So my point is, what I think is, you'll never get Diddy like he wrote a check to Keefe D. Hey, kill Tupac Shakur. That's not what it was. I think at some point it was like, hey, it'd be cool to get rid of him, right? Because I might get killed. And he was very close to the Southside Crips. We know that.
Right.
Keefe, Zip Martin, Diddy. Yep. We know that. That's proven. Okay. That's part of the Greg Kading thing too. But I believe when Tupac and Suge jumped Baby Lane at the MGM, that is the reason Tupac was killed.
Really?
Yeah. I'm like, my point is, like, could they have done it in the future? Maybe. But I'm saying the fact that Orlando Lane got jumped right there, and then they're looking for, like, where is he? Where is he? They want to kill him. Absolutely. And they get a gun from Zip Martin, and I guess Foxy Brown's there.
Yep.
Supposedly.
Right.
And that gun is given from Zip to Keefe. Right there's a crime. Right there.
What about the $1 million check that supposedly Zip had?
I've never seen it. I've heard. I had a source come to me and goes, there was a bag. They say bag that was given to Zip, and he kept the money. Allegedly. Right. I don't know if that's true. Remember, Keefe D says on tape, it's public domain. You can listen to it on Murder Rap in the documentary and in the book, that Keefe says Diddy's on the phone. He's with Zip, and they're talking to him. And he goes, was that us? Was that us? Diddy says, yeah. And Faith is there too. Faith Evans. And so they're saying, like, was that us? But to really prove that Diddy set it in motion would be very hard. Keefe D is a felon. Okay. You're going to put him on the stand. He's go, yeah, Puff told me to kill him. I don't think it's going to hold water. I think in kind of the gang culture or even in mafia, the same thing would happen in the mafia. Yeah. Or in a sit down, or maybe they casually say, get rid of them. They just nod. The old mafia guys, you know what the old guys used to do? They didn't speak. They go like this. That's it. They don't say anything. Do one of these.
It's true, though. It's true.
They used to get phone calls in bakeries, and you'd call a bakery, and then they go, hey, sounds good. Like, these guys were super slick. So my point is, you're not going to get it on tape of Diddy saying it. There's no check. There's no paper trail. But did he mention it? Probably. I'm sure he said it at some point. They had the Nation of Islam going too. They were trying to like cool things off between Suge and Diddy, Pac and Biggie. They were trying to. It's a sad story. It really is sad. Those guys did not need to die over that. They really didn't.
I agree. So, well, listen, we have unpacked a lot.
Vlad is a Fed. We got Vlad is a
What do you think about that? Do you feel like Vlad is a Fed?
Nobody would, no cops would ever work with him. No. I work with the police. I'm not afraid to say it. I do. So
okay.
Vlad, we're different. Look, I'm not trying to compare myself. Vlad has 5 million subscribers. He's much more successful financially than I am. He beats me there, but he's not a real journalist. I am. I'm a real investigator, and I bring justice to victims. He does not. He trolls murder cases. So for entertainment, and that's his right.
Right.
That's his right. But when he badmouthed Jaguar Wright, that put a really sour taste in my mouth. And that lawyer ripped him right away, just right away. She said, he's a culture vulture. He's making a bunch of comments about black women that were abused.
It's true.
Come on, dude. Like, yeah, he also got punched in the face by like Rick Ross or his team for running his mouth. A lot of people don't like him. They really don't. And I see his channel going down the crapper pretty soon. Pretty soon, no one's going to work with him anymore.
I think it was over for me when he was kind of like chastising Cassie, saying that he was like, that he had like, oh, one time I met Cassie and like she really wanted to marry Diddy and she was telling me that she wanted to marry Diddy. I'm like, dude, so all this evidence comes out and it's not irrelevant. You don't think that she was drugged. You don't think that allegedly any of these things happen. Like, it's crazy to me. It's crazy that he used common sense for some things, but not all.
And also, you have to remember, he's kind of a provocateur. So he wants to say things, and that's his right, and that's part of his entertainment. Just like Adam 22. Adam 22 runs No Jumper. Those two guys are probably the biggest. Art of Dialogue is big. Cam Capone. I watch a lot of their stuff. I think those guys are great. You know, I have more of a bone to pick with Vlad, but this is part of the culture, and it helps sell records. It sells songs. God bless them. God bless them. But when they tell stories like about OJ, when I know the truth and they ignore the truth, that's when I have a problem. Okay. But I would say, well, to this thing, Chris, your YouTube channel, I have a YouTube channel. You might be talking about one that I privatize a lot of my stuff, but I have a small podcast channel. I think it's called chris.todd.investigates at Gmail, something like that. Chris Todd Investigates on YouTube. I don't run my own channel. I come on other people's shows. I never had any views. I ran a podcast. I have like 10,000 views. So I just gave up on it. And so I like to work with other people and kind of give to them. And then, I get the notoriety from you guys.
Well, Chris, this has been amazing. I would keep you here for 3 hours and pick your brain. Huh?
No worries. Yeah. If you have to go.
So, final question. And then you have to promise that you'll come back and we'll do some other stuff.
Absolutely.
2 questions. First, do you really believe Kim Porter was murdered?
I have to be careful how I answer that. In the book, I wrote the disclaimer page, and I'll stick to what I said. I do believe there is some evidence that points to a poisoning. I can't prove it this second. I'm still looking at it. I do have some new information that has come in, and I don't trust the LAPD.
Okay.
I've seen what they've done on OJ. I've seen them do other cases. There was no investigation into Kim at all. Where's her phone? Where's her laptop? Where is it? Where is it? Why is it gone? That's a problem. That's a red flag. Diddy took it. That's illegal. He can't take her stuff. That's a crime scene. You don't know what happened. You didn't even have the toxicology reports back or the coroner's actions back yet, and you're saying it's a natural death. You don't do that. This is what they did on Cobain. Oh, it's a suicide. It's a suicide. Like right away, you didn't even run any tests. Like, so the LAPD with that, you know, there was a house full of people when they showed up. There were people, multiple people at the house. We don't even know. Somebody moved Kim's body.
I heard. What about the Corey Gamble angle? What do you have this? What do you think about that? They said that
I guess he's Diddy's cousin. He was Bieber's manager, road manager. Obviously, Diddy was close to the Kardashians. So was Corey. I'm not accusing Corey of anything. Some people write me stuff accusing him of stuff, like saying he was cleaning up something at the scene. And like, I don't know what he's doing, but I'll tell you this right now. If I find out that a lot of these people, if Kim really was unalived, I'll get you. I beat the greatest killers in history. I'll get you. So,
well, you hear that here first on Mama's Cocktail Hour from Chris Todd. Chris, you have to come back. We have to.
I will. I promise. I promise.
I appreciate you. Please let us know anything that you have upcoming, any email, any information that you want everybody to know.
You guys, my email is hopscotchfree101@gmail.com. Hopscotchfree101@gmail. I'm an open book. You can write me anytime. You can pull my phone number too. If you get annoying, I'll block you. But anybody can call me anytime. You can reach out here. And I want to bring justice to victims. Obviously, Kim is in my heart with this today. But I have a lot of other cases that I've done. Please help those people too, those victims.
Oh, Chris, that's wonderful. Thank you so much for all your time. We appreciate everything, and we look forward to hearing you in the future. Okay, guys, we are out. Bye. Okay.